We are headed to one of my very favorite places, and no, it's not the tractor dealership, but I think you'll enjoy it just the same. Hop in. We got plenty of room. We are here with Ed Donnelly of Bob Wills Nursery, and this is my preferred place to buy trees. I don't buy a lot of ornamentals, but I do buy a lot of fruit trees and berries and stuff like that. This is my preferred place. First time to meet Ed. He's going to tell you more about himself. Bob Wills Nursery, Ed Donnelly.
Alan, thanks for coming in today. I do appreciate it. My wife and I purchased the nursery back in December of 2018, so we've been owners of the nursery now for a little over a year, and we're very excited to be in the fruit and nut tree business. And later this season, we're going to be moving up to our family farm up in Mineola and relocating all the inventory here up to our farm there and consolidating with the existing tree farm that we have for shade trees and landscape trees.
And I forgot to mention, right now you're in Lindale.
That's
Lindale,
correct.
Texas, which is northern Smith County, Texas, and you're going to Mineola, which is southern Wood County.
It's southern Wood County, correct, just across the river.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, people will be watching this all over the United States, and with this Smith County, Wood County, that's East Texas.
Correct.
Kind of close to the piney woods, real green. Most people, when they think of Texas, they think of desert. We're not. That's not us.
That's not us.
We're very green. So, well, tell us about yourself and how you came to Bob Wills Nursery.
Sure. Well, I was going through a midlife crisis in my early 40s, and I was in the computer business for about 25 years. And I decided, my wife and I decided we were going to move the family out to the country, and I started a shade tree farm up there. And we focus mainly on providing wholesale trees to the landscape industry. And it's a lot of work. It's very capital intensive, and I wasn't able to grow the business fast enough to make a living off of and quit my full-time job. So when I found out about 2 years ago that this business was up for sale, my wife and I really took a good hard look at it, and well, I'm really excited that we did. And shortly after purchasing the business, I was able to quit my full-time job, and now I'm in the nursery business full-time.
Good.
Yeah.
And y'all carry not just ornamentals, but you do carry, not just shade trees and such, but you do carry a lot of fruit, a lot of nut.
Yeah.
And in this location, you have some ornamentals too, and some shade trees, or
we do. We carry a small number of shade trees here. We also do quite a few of the flowering ornamental trees here. Things like flowering cherries, weeping cherries, flowering peach, flowering plum, red buds, dogwoods. There's just a wide variety of the flowering trees that we do carry here, but our specialty is the fruit and nut tree business, along with berries, blackberries, raspberry, blueberries, and then also grapes.
Yeah, because I've gotten some grapes here before. I forgot about that. I bought some Reliant, I believe, grapes here, and I bought 2 different kinds of muscadines.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm very invested in Bob Wills Nursery.
Yeah, well, that's great. I appreciate that. And for those folks that may not be familiar with the muscadine, it's more of a wild grape that is found in the South. So some of those folks that are in the northern part of the country on the West Coast, they're pretty popular down here.
And they'll grow pretty much anywhere in the U.S.?
Yeah, I'd have to check specifically on the climate zone for them, but they are pretty hardy all over the U.S. So there's a couple things to keep in mind when you're looking at fruit trees. The first is whether or not an item needs a pollinator to cross-pollinate, so that they'll both produce fruit. That's really important. The second is what is the what USDA cold hardiness zone are you in, which is basically the average low temperature you get during any winter. And then the other is the number of chill hours that the fruit requires or the tree requires in order to produce fruit. You don't want to get too low and you don't want to get too high. Here in East Texas, we're an 800 chill hour zone, and we would generally recommend that something below 900 and something above probably 400 to 500. If you get them too early on low chill hours, like 150 to 200 hours, then the chances are that they're going to bloom out, and then all of a sudden you're going to get a hard freeze and everything's going to die and you're not going to get any fruit.
Been there and done that.
Oh yeah.
Been there and done that.
I know that feeling.
So a tree that does well in East Texas may not be a good tree for the Gulf Coast.
Correct.
and from Michigan.
Correct. Yes. Very different. I think I mentioned earlier I was at the Mother Earth News Fair this past weekend, and we are possibly going to have a booth there next year, and we started debating, well, what kind of trees are we going to bring? Because if somebody comes from Dallas, they're going to want something very different from somebody who comes from Corpus Christi. And so how do we have a wide enough range of items there to meet everybody's needs?
Most of my viewers kind of know me as someone who has done a lot of blackberry videos and raised a lot of blackberries. I had a little small U-pick blackberry operation for a little while, and so you do. I know you grow. I mean, y'all sell blackberry varieties, several different blackberry varieties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So there's the thornless and the thorny varieties. This time of year, we also have some available in bare root. This time of year, we can sell, customers can buy either bare root or container material. Okay. Obviously, you and I have talked, and the container material tends to get off to a little bit of a better start, and that only lasts for a couple of months until everything gets potted up around here. But we probably have a dozen different varieties of blackberries. We have a half a dozen different varieties of blueberries, and probably about anywhere between 8 to 12 varieties of raspberries as well.
Okay. And strawberries?
We do strawberries as well. Yeah, we've got about a dozen varieties of strawberries, and asparagus, rhubarb, and several other things like that we carry.
Okay. I forgot to mention that he has set up a discount code for my viewers for a 10% discount.
Correct.
Go to bobwellsnursery.com,
mm-hmm.
and it'll be at checkout, or?
Correct. Okay. Yes. So they'll put all their items into a shopping cart, and then at the end, if they enter the TP2 code, it will give them 10% off their order, off of the product. In general, if they're in Texas and they want to place a big order, we can ship that through a freight service. Otherwise, we generally ship everything through FedEx. Okay. Most items can be shipped 2 to a box. So we could fit 2 apple trees or 2 plum trees, or a plum and an apple tree in a box. Some items we are a little bit more concerned about the health and safety of the plant and it not breaking while it's shipping. Right. So we will only send 1 of those in a box. Things like avocados, things like guavas, and guavas, and what's the other one? Mangoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you do ship all over the contiguous United States?
That's correct. Every day we ship packages from Maine to California.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think your website says some citrus, you can't ship citrus to California?
Correct. We can't ship citrus outside the state of Texas. Yeah, it's prohibited by federal law. There's a quarantine on that.
Okay.
Yeah. And, all the packages that go to the West Coast, states from basically New Mexico up through Colorado to the Dakotas and west, requires a phytosanitary certificate. So we do work with the Department of Agriculture to have all the packages inspected once a week, and then they come with a phytosanitary certificate stating that they've been treated and inspected. So if you do order on a Monday or Tuesday, your order may not go out to the following Monday or Tuesday, simply because the inspector only comes once a week.
Right, okay. Yeah, I remember reading that on the website.
Yeah. People come to us because we can make good recommendations, and we have items that they can't find anywhere else. Right. They'll either drive several hours to get here, or they'll call us and have us ship it across the U.S. And it could be an unusual variety of peach tree. We can have over 60 varieties of peaches. It could be a more exotic tree that they want to grow, like a pawpaw or a mayhaw or goji berries, things that are becoming more popular throughout the last several years. And are becoming a little bit more mainstream, especially as people are getting more into homesteading and wanting a wide variety of items. And I would also make sure that your listeners understand that we do incorporate a organic spray program here. So we understand that it's really important to our customers that are going to be buying our fruit trees that they don't want something that's been sprayed with chemicals. So we do use an organic pesticide and fungicide spray program here.
And I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah, and our goal is to be 100% chemical free, in the next couple of years.
Right.
And that's our goal. In our family, it's just as important to us that what we're putting into our bodies, we know where the food came from, we know how it was treated, we know how the trees were taken care of,
Right.
and all of our customers, I think, feel generally the same way.
Well, if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I don't recommend people or recommend companies lightly. And this is a place where I have done business for many years, 20 years at least, if not longer. I have a nursery 1.5 miles from my home. This is about 30 or 40 miles from my home, and I still come here. There's a reason for that. So appreciate Ed meeting with us, and appreciate this place.
Well, that's great. And Alan, I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you giving us an opportunity to speak to your listeners and watchers. And if they have any questions, they're welcome to check out our website or give us a call.
And give that code again.
It is the capital T, capital P, and then the number 2, TP2.
At checkout, TP2 is the discount code, 10%
Yep.
off all your purchase. And good to be here.
Thank you. Pleasure to see you.